Yay Media Group.
So I'm like, what does that mean, unscheduled maintenance? And this big guy next to me goes, somebody pooped in the pool. I go, what? He goes, yeah, right there. Somebody pooped in the pool.
Just like,
and I started laughing. I go, oh, unscheduled maintenance. He goes, yeah, they got to clean the poop out.
Hey guys, episode 250.
Wow.
We are officially back. We're a little tanner from our trip. It was so fun, but we are so tired today.
We're a little tanner, a little fatter.
Yeah.
And a little more exhausted.
I got on the scale. I gained 3 pounds on our trip.
I didn't even go on the scale. I'm scared.
I'm taking my shoes off. I'm
getting
bloated. Comfy.
Rest your dogs.
I am. I'm getting comfy.
But yeah, it was a good trip, but it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
It was, well, we did the parks and then we went, for those that don't know, and then we did the Disney cruise. So today we're going to do a part 1 and we're going to talk about our experience at the park because it was our first time. And then the next episode is going to be all about the Disney cruise. We'll go into detail with that. Our kids I was loving the humidity. My skin felt so good. It was so nice.
Yeah, we went to Disney World. So people that don't know, in Orlando. Yeah.
Right. And the kids are not used to that southern humidity.
It's hot and it's early. So, I mean, if you go later on, like August or something, it's just going to get worse.
Right. I will say, if the best thing that I bought, I shared it on my Amazon Live, was those neck fans for the boys.
We used a lot of Amazon Live products. Yeah.
And I saw so many kids and even adults with those neck fans. I didn't even know what the neck fans were until my friend is the one that was like, oh, you got to buy these neck fans. And that's how, and then I shared it on my live.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool off stations and like misters and things like that, a lot of water rides. So you kind of just, if anyone's from the South, like you kind of just got to get that first sweat layer out and then,
But it was nice too, because then when you would have those little afternoon showers, like it normally does, that cooled you off. And then you're wet and then you can walk around and it dries so quick. So it was nice. Okay, so we're going to first start. When did we leave? We left Friday.
Friday after work. So I had to go to work. You guys came to work with me. And then we took off right from there. Yes.
And we stayed at Arts of Animation. And we just got a basic room. The standard room. We were in the Little Mermaid room. And Jeff described it perfectly. If you've never seen the hotel, it looks like you're in dorms.
It's kind of like a college dorm. If you've been on campus at a big college, it's kind of like that. There's a big cafeteria. There's so many pools. You could say in so many different rooms. So there's 4 of us. You're barely in your room. Right. So it really didn't matter.
So that's why I didn't care about the smaller room, because we were gone by like 9 and wouldn't get back till like 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And you're not really in your room at all. And so the first day we went to Hollywood Studios. Oh, one thing going back, if you stay at Arts of Animation, it's great. It's a great location because there's gondolas that you can get on, and it's so convenient. You don't have to wait on a shuttle bus. You don't have to wait on an Uber. You just get on these gondolas and they drop you right off at the park.
That was great. It's very central located. You could jump to Epcot Center. You could jump to Hollywood Studios. You could jump to all those places. We did have to take a bus to Magic Kingdom. But then we jumped over to Epcot and then took the gondola back to our hotel. So it's a great place, like centrally located. It's a great place. Like we're kind of doing the do's and don'ts of
because
Disney
this was
World.
our first time ever going. So this is our experience. I know other people are more so seasoned going to Disney World, Disneyland, Disney cruises, all of that. But we're just talking about our first experiences.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, going on this trip, I was very almost anxious because it seemed very overwhelming from what everybody told me. Like, you need to download the Disney app. You have, with the rides, like place your times with the rides, all that stuff. it really wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, because I was like, wow, this is so much information. And you and I had the app downloaded and we just kind of went with it. And the people are so helpful that work at that park, and they know exactly what they're talking about. If you have any questions, we just stopped and asked people. We got our first time pins. Yeah.
Yeah. It's very organized. It is very organized. They run that like a machine.
Yes.
Yeah.
And y'all want to hear something? I'm jumping the gun real quick. We went into the Christmas store. A lot of you that follow me was like, go in the Christmas store, because I always buy an ornament everywhere we're at. I dropped one and broke it. I was so embarrassed. And then I told the lady, we ran out because I just had to put my head down. I was like, I cannot believe I just broke this ornament.
Well, I told Jordan, I go, listen, it was like a big ornament that breaks. And we had 3 suitcases, big suitcases. We talked about it in the last or a couple podcasts ago. Jordan wanted to bring an empty suitcase. I'm like, that's the dumbest thing ever. Wasn't so dumb.
Yeah.
Coming back. Wasn't so dumb coming back. Because we had so much stuff. And then she wanted to put this giant, like, I don't know, it was a ball. It was like a Mickey Mouse head with ears. And it said 2026 on there. And I'm like, that thing's going to break. Why would you pick that ornament? There's so many other ornaments. Why'd you bring it? She goes, I like it. Then she's like, the kids like it. And then bing on the floor. And I go, see?
Everybody was looking at me. I was so
They were
embarrassed.
nice. So they're like, it happens. Don't worry about it.
I couldn't believe how many people knew us from Big Brother.
Yeah. So, we should have told them, I don't know if they listen to podcasts or not, but everyone was so great. I can't believe like how many people did know us. It's like we were at a Olive Garden in Oklahoma.
Some people knew you from Daily Blast Live or, Big Brother.
It's just because we're so,
and nobody watches, everybody said nobody watches Big Brother anymore. All the people
out there were like, yeah, we got off of it.
Yeah. We stopped watching it. And I was like, it's so funny, because I think Big Brother has a newer audience now.
Yeah, it's a different audience.
Yeah,
so everyone who came up to us was our age group of people, a little bit older. They were there with their kids or grandkids. So it was nice. A lot of people did know us. It got so much that like Lawson was even like, here, I'll take it. Lawson was taking photos for people. Yeah. So that was funny.
But I think people more so, they see you and then they put it together. But I don't look
the same. I'm older.
Your hair's grayer.
Yeah.
So,
and I'm fatter.
Well, we're going to start with, so the first day, Hollywood Studios. Our kids, I think, loved Hollywood Studios and Epcot the best.
Yeah.
Disney, what was it? Magic Kingdom is more, I think, younger and like Disney princesses. Our kids were more into the other two, but Hollywood Studios was great. We had the Hopper passes, which means that we could go to the different parks, and we had 3 like the lightning lanes.
Right, you get 3 a day.
3 a day, which was great.
Yeah.
So we would see the wait times. So if one was like a 90-minute wait, we're like, okay, we'll use our lightning lane and it's something we really want to ride. But if something was like 45 minutes, we would just wait in that. We were really good at balancing it.
Yeah.
And so we did pretty much all the rides we wanted to do, except for I did want to ride the Haunted Mansion ride.
That was at Magic Kingdom. But
was that at Magic Kingdom?
Yeah.
Okay. Never mind.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
And then, so the first day, we went to Hollywood Studios. That's more my speed. I know this whole trip, if you take a Disney cruise and park and stuff, we were spoiled because we went on a vacation, just us two, and we had the best time ever. We talked about Celebrity Cruise Line. That was amazing. This is for your kids. Like, you're there for your kids. Right. You're not there for yourself. Like, I want to do this or I want to see this. Right. But Hollywood Studios is more my speed. I love like how film is made. They had a great Indiana Jones show. If you guys go there, definitely do that. Our kids loved the Slinky. What's his name?
Oh, a Toy Story. The Slinky
Toy Story
ride.
Slinky. Is it Slinky?
Slinky Dog.
Slinky Dog. Is it Slinky Dog?
I'm pretty sure. I can get on my app, my Disney app right now.
But I think it's Slinky Dog. They're, just kind of getting into roller coasters, and that one's, it's not crazy, but that's a good one to introduce your kids to. We did it. We used a lightning pass on that, and then they loved it so much we waited in line at the end of the night so they could do that. So that's at Hollywood Studios. What else was there? What else did we do there? We ate at the Brown Derby.
Yes, and I didn't know you are the one that told me that they're known for the Cobb salad that they invented
the Cobb salad.
And it was so good.
So it's an old Hollywood hotspot, like way back in the day. That was in LA. So it's basically like mimicking LA, the Hollywood studios. And that was a place, but they have it there. And it was a good dinner.
Yeah.
Or lunch, right?
Like we kind of got on this system. So with the heat and walking around so much, our kids would get tired easily. So, and then that's kind of like when it's a little fits started happening and I don't want to wait in this line because they were tired. So when we went to that Brown's place, that was like, okay, let's recharge. We'll get you guys fed because Lawson gets very hangry when he's tired
and hot.
And so we went there, we regrouped, and it was like a night. It's worth, I think, spending the money.
Definitely.
Because I didn't want to eat chicken fingers and fries every day.
I know.
And a hamburger. So yeah, so we did that.
Yeah. And so Star Wars World or whatever it is there too. That's amazing. The kids went on both the rides. There's 2 great rides. We didn't make it to the cantina because that's one thing we didn't know.
You have to reserve.
Right. You have to reserve. Your kids could go in there, but I just wanted to go in there and like have a beer or something. I guess they have really fun drinks, but that's one thing we missed. And we went there for lunch first, and they're like, the next opening's 5:30. Yeah. And I was like, it was 12. So I'm like,
and our kids
I missed that.
Tired.
But we went on the line. Obviously, it's me, so I'll tell some aggravating stories. Disneyland's great. Disney, all great. The Disney adults are worse than the kids. I'm not even kidding. They're worse than the kids.
I know where you're going at with the story. Are we going to go there?
Yeah.
Okay, so we are in line for the Star Wars ride. I don't know what it was called. It's like where you look like you're driving the ship.
And you actually do drive it. You're in like a little pod like Star Wars. And then they have 2 drivers, 2 gunners, and 2 engineers. So it's 6 people at a time. And we're in line for this very cool ride. And you actually do steer. It's like kind of choose your own adventure. The ride, it's all, what is it, animatronic?
Yeah.
You know, it's like you're in the spaceship. And so we're in line waiting to go in, and my kids like drop something and they bend down for a second in line. And this woman passes us with Mickey Mouse ears and just runs past us. I'm like, I can't believe that girl.
She was like 45, 50 years old.
Yeah, like I can't believe you just ran past us.
Which is fine if they skipped.
In line.
Yeah, but I didn't care that she skipped. It's the part we're about to get to that made me a little annoyed. And the whole point was that our boys wanted to, and it's our first time there, drive the ship.
Right. And you have to get lucky because it's 6 people at a time to drive this stupid thing. Anyways, so it turns out the girl who ran in front of us, they break us into groups of 6s, and we only had 5 because Disney adult went by herself, cut the line, and she drove both sides of the ship.
Yeah.
And so she didn't even pay attention to our kids. I'm like, hey, there's 2 kids here. Let them drive.
That are 9 and 7. And so they were in the middle. They were still happy, but they just were hitting buttons. And I was so annoyed because if that was me and I was by myself, I'd be like, oh, you got little kids? I'll sit in the back.
Right.
Yeah, because it's about the kids. And
who you running past in line? I don't know. I was annoyed, but that's just me. I get annoyed at everything. I could tell you annoying stories about the airport and everything else. By the way, United.
Oh, gosh.
What's up, dude? Because I didn't book it under my name, but I pay $150 for a United card so I could have free bags. I don't get free bags. I'm never flying United again, and
Jeff's
I'm canceling my card.
I'm canceling my United card. I had to hear it. It was a thing.
Yeah. Anyways.
So then what did we do after that, Jeff?
So yeah, that was
that Jungle Cruise or was that Magic Kingdom?
That was Magic Kingdom.
That was Magic Kingdom. Yeah. So then
what else was that? Hollywood, the Indiana Jones show, that was great. The Slinky ride. The one
I thought of because we had to ride the ride twice was Slinky Dog in Toy Story area. The kids grew up like when they were younger loving Toy Story when they were really little and had to have all the items, and just going there where it was like came to life. They just loved that. Oh, and then there was also a ride where you put on the like 3D glasses and you're playing a game.
Oh yeah, we did do that.
Was that Toy Story?
That was Toy Story.
Yeah.
And you kind of like shoot.
Yeah. So
like you're in a big carnival.
Leighton loved that. And so did Lawson. And so all that was great. And then we rode some more rides. I can't remember all of them, but at night we were there and I remember we going back to Toy Story. The highlight though, I think, was going to that Brown's place. And it was just so cute in there. And me busting the ornament. That's kind of like my highlight.
That was a fun first day. We were tired.
We went back to our hotel.
Yeah.
And then you swim. And we were so, sorry, I thought my phone was on silent. We were so tired that we brought the food back to our room, our little mermaid room. And then, so we stayed in a standard room for 2 days. And then the third day we did upgrade to a suite, which it's more convenient. I feel like you don't have to walk as far. I swear we probably did 15 to 20,000 steps a day.
We walked a lot.
Yeah, like a lot. And the kids just enjoyed at night. I love that the pools were open till 11 o'clock. It was because that's what they love. Do you want to tell when we were?
That's the
Wait,
best.
I got a story.
What?
It's so embarrassing, but I know this happened. Should I tell it?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. It's embarrassing. So we're at the pool and laying out. And I told Jeff, I have to go to the bathroom. So you know when you got your bathing suit on? And I never sit on the toilet. I always either like you squat or you put toilet paper down on the seat. So I was in my bathing suit and my legs were hurting from walking so much. So I put toilet paper down and I sat on the toilet. And I get up, and put my bathing suit back on, like pull it back up. And I go and get Jeff another beer and I get me another margarita. And I'm at the bar and I have my wrap on. So I always like cover my butt and my thighs. And I feel like everybody's looking at me. And I was like, why is everybody looking at me? I know I'm not that person that looks real good in a bathing suit. And that's why everybody's staring at me. I was like, so I start kind of looking at myself. Y'all know what I did? I had toilet paper hanging. Hanging down. So gross.
Even Lawson goes, gross. Because Jordan told me the story when she got back and Lawson was there. He goes, that's gross, Mom.
I know. And I look and I go, oh my gosh, I have toilet paper hanging. So I just grab the toilet paper and nonchalantly just crumble it up and then wait to put it in the trash. But it was too late. Everybody already saw it and was looking at me. I was like, whatever. I don't care. I don't know anybody here. And then
it was just funny.
And then our bartender was probably the most angry bartender. I've never met an angry bartender. And she was so angry. Because I go, oh yeah, I have an open tab. She goes, Jeff? And I go, oh yeah, how'd you know? And she goes, pfft, and just started laughing. I was like, whoa, you're in a bad mood.
Well, we get back, I'm just having fun, and I go, the first time I open the tab and I go up to the bar, I go, Jordan's like, give me a frozen margarita with salt. So I go up to the bar and I'm like, oh, first things first, can I get a frozen margarita? And there's a regular margarita and strawberry margarita, and they're both spinning. And she goes, we don't have margaritas. And I go, what's that? She goes, that's strawberry margarita. I go, the other one doesn't work? She goes, no. I go, that's fine. Give me a strawberry margarita. She goes, okay. And then she pours it and I go, oh, can I get salt on that rim? And she goes, it would have been nice to know that before. And I was like, well, it would have been nice to know that your margarita machine is right there and you told me there's no margaritas. Anyways, you can't make a margarita? Whatever. So I'm still having fun. I'm like, oh, could you put salt on there? And then I asked, I don't know, I got a Modelo. I don't even know. I got a Modelo and I was like, she's like, here's the total. And I'm like, can I get a lime with that? And she rolls her eyes. And then I walk away again. I go, you're going to kill me because I know you like straws. I go, you're going to kill me. Can I get a straw for that margarita? Because it's a frozen margarita. Mm-hmm. And she was very upset about the whole thing.
Oh yeah, she was very mad. So I stayed away. I just did the one drink and then I was like, all right, I'm done. But we're sitting there at the pool and it's really hot. And so the margarita ice, anything frozen down there just feels like good.
Yeah.
If it's a smoothie, whatever it is, it's nice. So we're sitting there and then you get in the pool with the boys, you're playing, you get out, me and you were just sitting there together. And then.
Yeah. So we're feeling good, relax by the pool, take a dip.
Boys are playing.
The day was ending. And so I'm like, oh, this is so nice. We're just at the pool. And then all of a sudden the whistle blows and they're like, sorry, folks, we have an unscheduled maintenance. And I'm like, what does that mean? Unscheduled maintenance. They just want to close whenever they want. I'm like, that's ridiculous. So I was like, the kids had to get out of the pool and then we have to entertain them. It was nice not just to sit there for a second and not entertain them. Like, can I have this? Can I have that? Can I go on there? So I'm like, what does that mean? Unscheduled maintenance. And this big guy next to me goes, somebody poop in the pool. I go, what? He goes, yeah, right there. Somebody pooped in the pool.
Just like,
and I started laughing. I go, oh, unscheduled maintenance. He goes, yeah, they got to clean the poop out. I don't know. It just made me laugh the way he said it. I was dying. I'm like, oh, that makes total sense. Someone pooped. I'm like, everybody get out of the pool. I'm like, kids, we're out of here. Somebody left after that. But
so then we go back to the room and we all were just exhausted. And then it was so nice. Our kids, normally they're the ones so hard to put to bed on vacation. We didn't even have to like put them to bed. They were just out. As soon as they laid down on the bed, they were out.
When you get in the air conditioning and like put on a movie, because they have all Disney movies and stuff.
That's a plus. That's one thing I loved about the hotel and I loved about the cruise was it was all Disney movies. You know, normally if you're at a hotel, you'd have to pay for that. It was all included and it was like just entertainment for them when we would lay down.
Yeah, it was very nice. So that was what?
That was first day, but then we upgraded to that suite. And I wanted to say, if you do choose to stay at that hotel, pay the extra money and get the suite because it was just more room.
2 bathrooms,
1 bedroom. But what was cool is the kitchen table. There's like a kitchen table right here. And I didn't even notice. You're the one that was like, that's a bed. You pull it down.
Yeah.
And so there's a bed that's up on the wall that you can open and close and like lift it up. And then it makes more room and then someone can sleep there. And then there's a pull out couch. It was just more comfortable in there. So that's,
but like I said, if you're just looking to get a room, because it's reasonable to get the standard room as opposed to everything else there, that's a way to go because you're barely in there. But if you do want a little more room, get the suite. Because
I was telling Jeff, if we go back that I was like, and you even agreed, you were like, this is just way more comfortable because it's nice. The other one, we were so tight with all of us, like everybody showering and brushing the teeth. Everything was everywhere. You couldn't find it. And then when they had their bathroom, it'd be like, just go in there and brush your teeth and go
it was
shower.
Just more,
it's
especially
just a little
being
convenient.
Around people all day at the park, you know, you just want a little space.
And they had their own TV to watch and we had a TV to watch. So it was nice with that. And so that's one.
Yeah, that was the first night. Then the next day we went to Magic Kingdom. Like I said, you got to take a shuttle from Arts of Animation. So we went there, did that. Like I said, it wasn't my favorite. We did do a couple rides. We didn't do the Haunted Mansion.
We missed that because the boys, by the time we got to that, the boys were just tired and we wanted to go to Epcot. But at Magic Kingdom, the first ride we rode was that Tatiana's Bayou.
Yeah.
I love that ride. It's like a little water ride and there's a hill. Leighton, I guess because it was the first ride we rode on, he was not, I mean, at the end, he was crying. And I was like, I am so sorry. I really didn't
He freaked out because there's a little bit of a drop at the end and you can't really see the bottom because it's all misty. So it kind of freaked him out a little bit.
Yeah, we did that. We did the Jungle Cruise.
Yeah, the Jungle Cruise.
That was nice. Because Tatiana's Bayou scared him, Leighton would not go on the Pirates of the Caribbean ride.
That's like a must do.
I know, but we got all the way up there we waited in line. We didn't use our lightning pass. And right when we got up there to the front, Leighton was like, I don't want to go. So me and Leighton got out of line. You and Lawson went and it was pouring down rain when we were there. But I told Leighton, I was like, let's just go out in the rain because I was hot and I was like, let's cool off in the rain. And then he calmed down because he felt bad that we had to get out of line, but he was scared. But I was like, it's okay. If you're uncomfortable, we don't have to ride it. And he was just worried because it was dark and he thought that there was going to be a drop.
Yeah. And it's not.
And
if anyone's ever been to Disney World, it's like, it's a small world and Pirates of the Caribbean are like 2 musts.
Right.
You know?
And then
we bailed, and then we jumped.
So our good friend, if you've been following us for a long time, Brennan is his name. I call him Swain, was there with his family, and his sister is a big Disney person. So they were bouncing around to different parks, and he let us know we're going to be at Epcot. So we're like, oh, we'll pop over at Epcot. We wanted to see the different countries.
12 different countries
that you could go in, and we wanted to just see something else. And everyone, the guy at the pool told us, he goes, you have to make your way over there and ride the Guardians of the Galaxy ride. It is the best indoor roller coaster you will ever ride. And so that was another reason why we were like, okay, we got to go over there because we want to ride this ride. So we get to Epcot. I loved it. I felt like I was in the future. Like
Epcot's
how it
great.
is. Yeah.
Epcot's great. I liked it better than Magic Kingdom, but you have to go to Magic Kingdom, get a picture at the castle.
Yeah,
totally. You got to do that.
And then what did we do? Where did we go first? It's Guardians of the Galaxy was the first ride.
Yeah, we went right there.
So we used our lightning passes, and then for some reason there was like a problem.
If you get park hoppers, you could carry your lightning passes with you to whatever park. And for some reason it didn't transfer over, went to guest services and they fixed it for us. Right. And then we went back on the ride and it was like, it's the best roller coaster I've ever been on in my life.
I've never been off a roller coaster and like, I was like, I would totally want to go back in line and I want to ride this again.
So here's the thing. If I don't want to ruin it for people, like if you haven't been on, if you're going to Disney World, you got to go on that ride.
Yeah.
It's the best. And they played
Everybody
Wants to Rule the World. I thought that was just a song, it is kind of like our kids were freaking out on the ride.
But hang on. Let's tell everybody too. So because I was thinking indoor roller coaster, it can't be crazy. And we're telling the boys, oh, it's probably just like a couple drops. It's not anything crazy. And the guy who told us about
it is like, no, it's, my girls went on. It's fine.
Yeah. And his girls were young. So we were like, okay, we didn't
know what to expect is what we're saying. Right. So we're like, guys, this is going to be cool. They know Guardians of the Galaxy. Just come on. There is no crazy stuff going on. Right. It is a little crazy. But in a good way.
Start and we're going around. I'm like, okay, this is really cool. And then I'm like, ooh, we're getting really fast. I'm like, Leighton was scared on Tatiana's ride. I don't know how he's going to do on this. And then next thing I know, we are going backwards. How fast do you think we were going?
It's pretty fast.
It's so fast. And then all of a sudden it's like the roller coaster breaks.
So when you're like, usually the roller coaster, you're just facing forward the whole time, right? Somehow your like little compartment turns sideways and then you're facing inward and like going in a spiral. It's wild. It's so cool.
And you look like you're in space.
Yeah.
And then what makes the whole ride is the music.
So after that song, I love 80s music and things like, and I love that song. After we went on that ride, I think we listened to
the boys love it now too.
Like 100 more times.
But
every time getting ready in the hotel room, welcome to your life.
That's why I put it when I posted on Instagram. That's why I put that song with it.
But I guess you don't get that song every single time, which I didn't know.
And I heard everybody wants that song.
Yeah, which made it so much better. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't know why. I loved that ride. It was so great.
I was leaning over Leighton and I kept holding him as much as I could. I was like, are you okay? Is everything okay? I was like, is he free? He wasn't talking. You said you looked over at Lawson.
So I was worried about him while I was trying to enjoy it. But I was like, oh my God, are you freaking out? Because it is kind of intense, but in a good way. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? If you're just sitting there enjoying it, it's the best. But I was like looking at Lawson and he was so freaked out that when we got done, he goes, oh my God, that was awesome. He goes, but my legs were shaking like Bugs Bunny. So they were terrified and like thrilled at the same time.
Leighton didn't cry on Tatiana's ride, which that hill was nothing compared to what we rode. Leighton was, he was okay. I don't understand. But yeah, we get through that. And I thought we were going to have a meltdown after that ride. I wish we had time to ride it again, but the wait was 90 minutes.
Yeah, we did use a lightning pass.
Yeah, we used a lightning pass for that. And then we were starving. and we went to go eat over there, and you were like, let's go to Italy.
Right.
We went to Ratatouille.
Oh yeah, we rode Ratatouille
and we rode
in
that
France.
In France. And then Jeff goes, let's go over to Italy and eat. And the boys love like pasta and like Italian food.
That was great.
That was such a good restaurant. I don't remember the name, but it was in the little Italy area.
When you walk in to Italy, there, each one has a section. It's the first one on your left.
Yes.
I forgot the name of it.
And the pasta was good. And they gave the boys these ice cubes that lit up. And they just loved that. We ate everything. We were starving. I ate so much.
Yeah, that was nice. And then we met Swain and had a beer in Japan. I really liked Epcot a lot.
Me too. I think it was more our style.
Yeah.
And then there was going to be a show, a fireworks show. We were losing the boys. We had been going all day. So then we get back on the gondolas.
Which took us, It took
us back. And I think we got back to our room at 10:30?
Yeah, it was late.
11. And then we just crashed and went to bed because then the next day was cruise, and we had to be down in the lobby to meet the people taking us to the cruise ship, the shuttle, at 9:15. So I was like, we all got to get a good night's sleep.
All right. Well, then we'll stop there because then we're going to tell you about the cruise for part 2. And
right.
It's there's some good stories.
Yes.
All right. So we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in. Again, thanks for everybody that we met. You guys were great. I loved meeting you and loved hearing the feedback. So thank you for that. And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.